Adobe just released Camera RAW version 18.6 with one of my favorite new features, something they call glow. For those of you familiar with the Orton effect, you're going to love this. It's like that, but it goes so much further with multiple choices of how the light spreads in your image, color temperature, various models like halation. It's an amazing tool. What it really means is you can now take your image and add that soft, dreamy glow to your sunsets or city lights, really enhance the overall mood in your image with this. And it works for high dynamic range as well as standard dynamic range. So it's great for those of you taking advantage of HDR. It works on raw images as well as in a filter. So a very flexible tool, and there's quite a bit of nuance to that. So let's dive right in so you can see some examples and we'll explore how to get the most out of it. In this first scene, the cityscape has a number of windows where I want to add some glowing light around these windows. So we'll use the tool for that. In the second scene, we're going to, of course, add a dreamy glow to this sunset, really just kind of soften that up. And then the third scene here, this is from my advanced raw mask course where I processed to this state, and I was working to add some side light here, but now that I have the glow tool, I'm going to push it even further and add some light that doesn't really exist in the image, but we're going to use the glow feature to do that. And this will let us explore different models on different images. Now, all of these source images are raw smart objects, but for this first one, I'm simply going to work with the filter to show how that works. So I'm going to go up to Filter, Camera RAW Filter, and you'll see that we're in Camera RAW version 18.6. That's the new version. And what you want to do is look for the Effects tab. And then in there, you're going to be looking for this new glow slider, which by default is collapsed. So if we go and move up the amount, we have some control here. This particular image doesn't respond that much to the default settings underneath this. What you want to do is open up this disclosure triangle, and this is where the real power of this tool lies. These are the settings you want to customize on probably every single use of glow to get the most out of this. So the glow slider is the amount, that's how much you do, and then below these sliders are what you do. And the first choice is the model. So we've got diffusion, which is Adobe's Orton effect. And then we've got bloom, which of course is really spreading out light around these highlights. So that's pretty dramatic. You'll notice as I hover, you can see the model. And don't worry about the fact that diffusion was more subtle. You can dial this up. We're just going to look at the different models here. So bloom obviously is really focused on these highlights. And then halation is an effect that comes from film emulsions and tries to replicate that. It adds quite a bit of warmth, so it's not going to work for every scene, and I don't use it nearly as much as the other two, but they're all great models, and each has kind of its place. So we're going to work with the diffusion model in this scene, and then the next options here control how it works. We have range, spread, and warmth. Range is effectively which range of tones do we consider to be targeted as the highlights. If I go and slide it to the left, I'm only working on the brightest highlights. Let's go switch for a moment just to the blue model. It'll be easier to see. So I'm just at the brightest highlights. As I move further to the right, I'm going more and more to just general tones in the scene, including midtones and some shadows. Not totally obvious when we look at this, and Adobe's done this nice thing. If you hold on the Alt or Option key when you click on this slider, you can actually see where it's working. So this is showing us the tones which are included, which is most of the image, but the darkest shadows. And as I move towards the left, it's excluding all but the brightest highlights. So if this were a luminosity mask in a tool like Lumenzia, it might be like an L5 mask. Or in Adobe Camera RAW, it's effectively a luminosity range mask that only keeps the highlights. So that's what range does. So the more we move it to the right, the more we can get not just the lights, but things like the walls around it, if that's what we want. And then the next tool here is the spread. Spread is once we've selected something, whether it's the window or even going to the wall, depending on how we set range, how much does it spread from there? So we can have less spread to really target where we get the glow, or more spread to push it further from the selected light source. And just like range, if we hold down Alt or Option, we can see the spread as we move through the range. So we have very little blurring of the mask and a lot of blurring of the mask. So this is going to be, what is considered the target. This will affect how much we glow around that target. And then warmth is just simply going to be the overall color casting, and hold Alt or Option to see that effect. We can make it warm or cool in both the bloom and diffusion models. If we go to halation, this one's quite a bit different. You notice warmth never is neutral. In this case, it's going from a bit of warmth to a lot of warmth. It's a little confusing because we do have a zero position, but this is not neutral. It always adds a color cast. It's just a bit less, with warm versus reddish here. So I use halation the least because of this color cast, but for the right image, it can be a really cool effect. So let's go back to diffusion, and we're going to work with it here. And so why would I use diffusion here when I'm not really seeing much effect? Well, we just haven't included enough of this yet. So if we go and look at the range here, I'm going to go push the light out a bit around it, like so. More importantly, I'm going to push up the spread a lot. Get that spread glowing around the image here, like so. Now we get that glowing effect around the windows, and I'm going to push it a little bit further up to something like 80%, like so. Maybe add a little bit of warmth to it, like maybe about 10 points or so, like this. So I like the glow it's giving me on the windows. What I don't like is that areas of texture like here on these walls are getting a bit lost here. So I need to apply this effect locally to get this right. And I could do it with a local mask, but in this case, I'm going to do it through the filter with a filter mask in Photoshop instead. So before we get to that, let's just dial the correct amount of glow, because right now it's too much. I'm going to go bring this down to something like maybe 40 or 50% is about the right amount of this. So I think that looks good. We'll say okay. And you can see we've got our filter and we've got our filter mask. What I want to do is paint on where I want this to glow. So I'm going to switch from white where everything's revealed, hit Command or Control I to switch to black. So now everything's concealed and I can paint it in by hitting B for my brush. I'm going to switch to white as my foreground paint, use a nice soft brush at high opacity, low flow, and just go brush on the areas where I want that light to come through. So I'm selectively adding this glow. Instead of just blindly letting it go everywhere, I'm going to add it where it makes sense for this image around these sources of light that I think should be glowing in the scene. And that's just kind of a creative choice. You might make slightly different choices, but I think this looks pretty good from before to after. You can see the glow that we're adding to the scene. And it's fairly subtle by design, but let's just zoom into one area here and look at this window from before to after that glow it adds. So I think it's a really nice effect. We're looking at this on a standard dynamic range image. If this were the HDR version, it would be so much better even than this. I'm just not recording this video in HDR for simplicity, but the HDR edits with this feature really look amazing. Let's jump to the next example. And again, here we want to kind of create that glowing effect in the sky. This time I am going to use the raw data. I'm going to double click my raw smart object. And now I'm back in with the same controls, but I will get a little bit of a better result by working the raw than using the filter. So let's go turn up our glow so we can see it. Here's the diffusion model. Here is bloom. You can see how diffusion is that really soft effect as if you'd put almost like a light layer of Vaseline over the lens. Bloom is more targeted towards the areas that are truly highlight. And then halation is not the effect I want here with that orange cast. And I think I'm going to go with bloom. And I don't want it spilling as much through the sky. So let's bring our range, let's bring it down to something closer to like 30 here. And you can just kind of see from before to after how it's more targeted around the sun and giving us the effect from before to after, just adding that glow there. And now I'm going to go bring the amount of that glow down quite a bit to like maybe 30%. Let's see how that looks from before to after. So it just adds that nice little bit of glow. And if I want, I could add a little bit more warmth by pushing that up to, let's say, around 25. So kind of a gentle glow. If I want to be more targeted, I could do it locally instead of globally. And that would probably be the best choice, but it gives you a sense of why you might use bloom here in this scene. Let's go look at our next example. This one, again, we want to add light streaming in from the side. This one will definitely work with kind of a local model. Let's again double click into the raw smart object. In our glow, let's go kick it up. You can see that diffusion is softening up the sky there. If we were to look at bloom, you see how that just kind of spreads the light quite a bit around these rocks here. I'm going to go and actually zoom in a bit more so you can just really see what's happening with this image. I think it'll make it a little bit more intuitive, maybe something like this. And then with halation, interestingly enough, it's not doing a lot yet, but we can dial this up quite a bit. Let's go make sure our range includes the tones here. You can see already it's adding a lot more light in that part of the scene. Let's add more spread so it comes down more. And I'm going to kick up my warmth and see what happens. If I really make it red versus, well, I think I'll probably leave it pretty close to the 0 point. And you can see from before to after that effect. Now, I did say I want to do this locally. It's working pretty well as is, but I think I want to be more targeted with this than what I've done. So what I'm going to do now is actually zero out the glow in the global slider. All the settings I made are not wasted effort though, because the global settings are identical to the local settings. Whatever you set here is the same value you get in the mask. If you change the mask, it will set these sliders here. You cannot independently change them. You'd have to create multiple layers in Photoshop and mix different layers to mix any of these values down below. So let's go to our masks. We'll go create a new mask, and the obvious choice here would be a radial gradient. Just go and drag it like so. Kind of bring it down like this, and now we have glow in the local adjustment, and I can just bring that up to the amount that I want. And as I look at this, I think I'm going to bring the warmth down negative, keep it in the yellow zone. I like that a little bit better. And because it's a local mask, I have multiple controls at my disposal. I think I'm actually going to impart a little bit of my own color in this case. Let's go to the color tab. Let's go to the color swatch and maybe pick a warm value somewhere around like 30, but then bring the saturation down so we have much less of it. Something super low like 10. And you can see here's the contribution of that color swatch to it. It's pretty subtle. You may not pick up on too much of it on YouTube, but I think that just helped dial that in a bit. And now I can kind of play with exactly where I want this light source to be, how much it spreads out with my radial gradients. And let's go and just hit OK. And then I'll just compare from before to after that light glow, or zooming in a bit more to see it like so, before to after. I think that just looks really lovely. You can, of course, dial in the amount you want. And because it's a smart object, if I chose to, I can go back into my local mask and just click on it. And then I can just play with things like how much does it feather? Do I want to go and take the glow amount down halfway so I have a little bit less spreading on those edges, something like that. And maybe that's just a little bit more of a realistic look for me than what I did a moment ago. Now to learn more about Adobe Camera RAW, click to this next video.